I tried speaking to my school therapist for comfort. I never thought I'd be handcuffed to his bed after my parents made me eat my neighbors out. I was ready to call the police to report them, but something within me wouldn't let me do it. Even though they were the worst parents ever, I still somehow loved them. But I desperately needed someone to talk to. So the next day at school, I walked into Dr. Tanner's office, who was the school's therapist. The second I walked in, he was smiling at me like he knew I was coming. "I'm the best therapist in the entire world," he said. But I didn't even care if he was lying. I just wanted someone to take this pain away from me. Instead of helping me right away, he leaned forward and whispered, "If you want the best way to get rid of your troubles, come back tomorrow after school ends. And don't tell a single soul you saw me." I was so desperate that I actually agreed to it. When school ended the next day, I walked into his office. After I got in, he locked the door and started asking me some questions, like what my favorite video games were, who my favorite teachers were, and even what kind of soda I enjoyed drinking. But before I could even answer his last question, he handed me an ice-cold Coke with a strange smile. Something felt really wrong, but I didn't want to offend him, so I drank it and immediately passed out. When I woke up, I was in a completely different room, while Dr. Tanner was just watching me and eating a cheeseburger. "Don't scream," he said with absolute calmness. "I'm here to help you in ways no one else can." Then he sat right next to me on the bed, a little too close. "You'll be staying here for a while. When I'm home, you are free to do anything. But when I leave, I cuff you to this bed, and you'll only be allowed to watch the news. Nothing else." I simply nodded, too terrified to do anything else but obey him. The next morning after he left, I turned on the TV and saw something terrifying. It was a child's body that was found under a highway overpass, burnt beyond all recognition, completely decapitated. But a couple seconds later, the screen switched to a recording of my school ID found in his backpack. And then my parents came on the screen crying uncontrollably. For once in my life, they actually seemed to care about me. And that's when I realized that Dr. Tanner was right about everything. Things were definitely changing. I assumed that he was a crazy criminal, but I started to really like him because he brought me delicious food every single night, and we ate it while we played video games for hours. He even promised everything would eventually be okay if I trusted him, so I started to. But then one morning, he frantically woke me up at dawn. His hands were visibly shaking. "Watch the news today," he commanded. "Don't miss a single second." So the second he left for work, I turned it on. This just in with BBC News. New DNA testing has shown that the burnt kid and the kid in the school ID are two different kids. If you're watching this, Logan Miller, please come back to your parent. That night when Dr. Tanner returned, he silently handed me another ice-cold Coke and told me to drink it all immediately. Before I passed out from the drink, he told me, "If you ever tell anyone about what happened and what I did, very bad things will start happening to the people you love." When I woke up, I was sleeping on my bed with my parents right next to me. "Where did you go?" they asked. But I remembered what Dr. Tanner said, so I told them that I got kidnapped but escaped. Everything started to go back to normal the next day. My parents were back to controlling everything I did, and I was back in school like nothing had happened. It's been 3 weeks since I came back, but I just saw another student go into Dr. Tanner's office 2 days ago, and I haven't seen them since.